Hey, Jen City Snack fans. Hope everyone's doing well out there. Quarantine day, God knows how long. I just wanted to check in, send you a message to remember those that who are stuck inside and kind of dealing that it's not a big deal. It'll be over soon, and we're here. So if you need any help, please reach out to the Gem City Tonight Facebook or Instagram. And remember that you're not alone, and you never will be. We'll broadcast a little bit later, but Sen, have a good day.
It's Gem City Tonight with Andrew Mitakides, featuring music director J Stanton, owner of the La Touraine Watches Company, Dave Moggio, musician Cody Canada, and the band Until Rust. And now, here's your host, Andrew Mitakides.
Good evening at Gem City Tonight. I'm your host, Andrew Mitakides, and I am honestly not coming to you live from the studio. We are doing it in quarantine, as we all are. Obviously, some of us have gone out to get groceries and so forth, but we are stuck inside. We've recreated the set with the help of my fantastic team. And we are going to do you an episode via live streaming. So we have a video that Jay and I did. He's at home quarantined. And we did the video, yes, we did the 6 feet distancing. So to make sure not to anything happens. We're going to have an interview and some music from Until Rust. We get to have a chance to talk to Cody Canada. And I don't mean to fangirl hard, but I've been listening to this guy for more than 10 years. Him, his band, Cross Canadian Ragweed, Cody Canada, and The Departed. It's going to be a great night. We're going to do a couple jokes. I got a couple people coming up. We got a monologue, and it's just fun. We even get to talk to the guy of the watches that I wear for the show. So we really get to hit it home. And although it is a tough time, we're stuck inside. There's lots of questions. What do we do? Where do we go? How long is it going to last? One of the main things that I think we need to remember is that times like this is when we band together. This is when we are at our best. And it's not just the United States, it's not just Canada, it's not just Mexico. It's everybody. Started in China, it's affecting multiple states. Italy is shut down. This is something that is a global pandemic that puts us together in a way that we didn't want to. You didn't want to know your neighbor. You didn't really want to wave across the street. But we have a chance to come together for the first time in a very long time. And like I said, under horrible circumstances. But we really get a chance to know who we are. Know your friends. See the love. And that's one of the episodes is about tonight. I get to talk to a huge mega country superstar that took the time out to know what it's like to reach out. I get to talk to one of my best friends who's known me since college and knows where all the bodies are buried. Yeah, that's is he gonna talk too much about that? This is, as we know, this is not just cranberry juice. We're gonna be able to learn about our friends and neighbors, things we might have never asked or might have never known. But this is a chance to, although we are staying inside, and the hashtag is hashtag alone together, and always hashtag Gem City Tonight, we have a chance to dig deep, be together. We don't have to be formidable for once. We can be humble, loving. So stick around. We're going to go to commercial. When we come back, I'll do my funny hashtag not so funny monologue. I can hear my friends in the background laughing at me because it's probably not going to be funny. And we're going to jump into our interviews, and we're going to have our couple questions. We are going to have hashtag what are you doing through quarantine for our desk piece, and we're going to go from there. So stick around. More Gem City Tonight.
It's like I'm like 50 years older. Like I feel so.
I want to make sure that all of them kind of align.
Table for two.
Hey, Ben.
There's always somebody who can be there for you. Call 1-800-273-TALK if you need help.
Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Gem City tonight. This episode is going to obviously be a little. I can't do this with this on. Can I? Leanne did this. Lowell, our director, her wife did this for me. This is. You can see this. This is fantastic. The gem. So thank you, sweetie. It just gets really hot. This is probably because I talk so much. I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm going to take this. Once again, does beautiful work. Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Gem City tonight. I'm your host, Andrew Mitakides. Obviously, once again, a little bit different. We're in quarantine. But like normal, I'm sitting in a room talking to myself. But tonight we did our interviews over the air. We know this is a difficult and different time, but we knew we had to put out some content. Some for you guys to watch. I mean, there's only so many times you can watch Community or Gossip Girl or Frasier over and over and over again. Not that I've given you a glimpse into my life, but nonetheless, it's mostly Frasier with me. I'm talking like there's someone in the room, but there's really not. I'm just kind of like speaking into the distance. I'm like Hamlet, to be or not to be. I mean, there's enough Shakespeare behind me. I could probably do this on my own. Surely, if you're watching, you'd probably be really proud of me. But tonight's episode, we actually have a great lineup. We have one of my dearest friends who's coming on and talk about his watches. Went to college with him. That's going to be fun. The lead singer of one of my favorite bands, which our manager hooked up. I was going to say I fangirl just a little, but I fangirl like a lot. And yes, this is one of those moments where I walk out of frame because I fangirl like a lot. But anyway. And then they let Jay and I out of the box, and we did a little number that we hope everyone, that the audience is going to like. So, let's talk about actually what's going on in the world right now. This is a weird time for everybody. And, I mean, this is literally one of those things that not many people have seen. Otherwise, you've watched a Dustin Hoffman film that Siskel and Ebert only gave 3.5 stars. And by the way, they reviewed the movie Outbreak like this. It's the kind of movie you would even like if you were only being manipulated and you were one of the people who was diseased instead of the actors in the movie. Yeah, that's probably not good. Granted, this is a scary time, and people are wearing masks, and they're literally punching people for Purell and drawing blood, and we have to stand 6 feet away from each other. It's like Eyes Wide Fight Club quarantine. It's not good. It's 13 feet now, isn't it? It's 13 feet now. Yeah, I was just at Walgreens today, and I watched grumpy old men beat the shit out of each other. And this is how it started. And you can look this up. It started by somebody biting the head off of a bat in China because they have like open animals, wet seafood. They're called wet markets. That's what they're called. So yeah, somebody bit the head off a bat. I mean, what is this? Seriously? What is he, Ozzy Ozchang? If anybody gets the Ozzy Osbourne reference in this, please message me back. I'll do a shot for everyone who gets the reference from that concert. So, now at the same time, I can't knock this because it's brought people together left and right. Of course, we're going to thank our nurses, our doctors, our first responders, our store workers, our stalkers. No, I don't mean stalkers like sitting outside of your window, which is the only way you can talk to anybody right now. I mean like stalkers who are working at Kroger's or Myers or Publix or anywhere that's providing groceries. And not to forget the postal workers who are working hard, delivering the mail, still doing their jobs, going door to door. So thank you for all of that. So they're putting themselves out there, and the rest of us are to be inside, safe, and fed. So we thank you. Now, it's really cool because we've been seeing videos all over the internet of lines of cars driving by hospitals with their lights on, balloons cheering for hospital staff. People have been singing outside of nursing homes to brighten the spirits of people there. One of my things that I love is that in the face of adversity, through all that's been going on, humanity has reemerged in a way that I never would thought I would see possible. We're waving to each other more, we're smiling more, posting to lost friends, speaking to each other more. In this time of darkness, I mean, we're finding the light to lift each other up. So, plus we're doing more introspective. I mean, I know for a lot of people are doing puzzles, which, by the way, can someone Google who invented the puzzle? Was it like Milton Bradley or whatever? Whoever it was never put one together. And it's sadistic. Let's only do 200 pieces. Let's do 300 pieces. Let's do 500 pieces. And then some drunk was like, let's do 1,000 pieces. Yeah. I'm finding you. 1,000 pieces. And they're all umbrellas? There's not many that umbrellas. In one photo. Get out of here. In fact, our desk piece tonight is about the top 10 things people are doing in quarantine. And I think number 10 is a puzzle, I think. Anyway, so for me, I've been doing the puzzle, but I took a long trip, people don't know, from the bedroom to the kitchen. It took me 2 vodka sodas, so that was nice. I learned that I can't make paella. It's impossible. Who even thought of this? This is why you keep drinking. Why do you keep drinking? And I'll admit it. I watched Tiger King in one sitting in one day. And don't act like you didn't. I know you. Everybody did. And by the way, call out, if we can get her on the show, Carol Baskin, yeah, you did it. We know you did it. I think we even call her out in the desk piece, and we think we call her out in the song. Yeah? God. Please, we know how it really ends. And people are like, oh no, I was just caught up in it. Everyone was watching it. No, don't do this one. It's like, oh, it's just the next episode. You couldn't look away. I couldn't look away. I think I left the bed for like 4 hours. I was like, I can pee later. I have goals. Anyway, speaking of things that end in the SmackDown, moving away, the World Wrestling Federation, the WWE, has actually resumed live televised shows of wrestling. Yeah. In Orlando, although with fans not present because they're, social distancing. But after weeks of taping these aired promos where they're like smacking everybody down, they're actually redoing it. And here's the best part. It's a signed order from Florida's Emergency Management Director. Yeah. The order says employees and professionals of media production are actually, they're not exempt. They're essential employees. Well, since we can't touch each other with handshake, I guess The Rock has to copyright a whole new meaning to the people's elbow. Handshake. If Jay was here, that's probably what he'd do. So I was just doing because clearly he's not here. So I had to do the music for him. He's probably at home watching this, rolling his eyes. Anyway, we're going to move into the last thing here. Political news. Weekend at Bernie Sanders has finally since dropped out of the race. Probably by the time you're seeing this on Saturday. This makes Joe Biden the Democratic presidential nominee, the front runner, at least this year. Now, they were going to have the convention this year, but after Joe Biden learned that they were going to do it 4:30 in the afternoon, he's like, no, it's dinner time. I can't do that. We got to do it early in the day. I can't make an old joke? Are people in Florida watching this? Probably not. Anyway, that means the biggest point that has sparked controversy is that his running mate now is going to be a female, which is totally fine. We here, Thinkers at Gem City tonight, we're all about it, as we know that most of my staff is women. I mean, we had Amy. And, as those of you who don't know, my mom actually ran for Congress in 04 and 08, J Mitakides. So, Mom, I love you. I know you're stuck inside. So anyway, they're talking about women in politics. Just don't do what McCain did. Don't have Sarah Palin. I can see Russia from my house. Yeah, I know that joke's like 10 years old, but I'm still doing it. Anyway, but the ones that they're talking about are Camilla Harris, Emily Klobuchar, Elizabeth Warren, and that's fine. But I'm going to back two different horses here, and I'm going to make a call right here, right now. I'm doing a CNN thing. I'm making a call. I'm going to Tammy Duckworth, number one. Duckworth, an Illinois native, elected to the House in 2012, U.S. Senate in 2016, but this is what most people don't know. She's 52 years old, lost both legs after the use of her right arm in a Black Hawk helicopter that she was piloting herself in Iraq, and it was shot down by an armed missile. Yeah, she was the first double amputee elected to the Senate, first senator to give birth while in office, and she would be the first Asian American to be nominated to run for vice president. I think that'd be fantastic. I can see the slogans now. Old as rock, and she can roll. Yeah, there's no one to laugh at that, but I hope they're laughing at home. Or wrinkles and rice. No? I'm kidding. As you know, I'm kidding. You know, I have many friends that are in the service. Of course, we have nothing but respect for our veterans who are still fighting overseas right now. She's a true hero to our country on the battlefield and off. So, thank you for your service, and hopefully that'll go there. But, since we're right here in the Buckeye State, the other option I want to put on the table is U.S. Congresswoman Joyce Beatty from the 3rd District. A true Buckeye. She not only worked at the Ohio State University, she had degrees from Wright State and the University of Cincinnati. I like this choice. We actually reached out to Trump's people about his choice for this, and he's like, I like the Ohio University. I immediately hung up on him. You know why? Because it's the Ohio State University. OH. I know everyone at home said IO. We got a great show for you. Stick around. We'll be right back with our desk piece and a wardrobe change, as you'll see throughout the show. We'll be right back.
It wasn't always like this. My friends were slowly going away. They found other people. And the world was slowly revolving around me. With my classes becoming harder and harder, and the constant stress of applying to college, it seemed like suicide was the answer to all of this. It was so easy to do, right there and then. I could have done it, but someone reached out to me. This person actually cared for me, talked to me, and understood me. Suicide is never the answer. Know the signs, find the words, and reach out.
All right, welcome back to Gem City tonight. That was a decent monologue. There's some politics in there. So we're going to go to our desk piece, which was pre-recorded, as you noticed. I'm going to do a little wardrobe change. So this was our desk piece. Hey, all you cats and kittens and your crew that I know. I've got the mask, and if you don't know, if you've been living under a rock for the last how many weeks? Two weeks. Tiger King has taken over This is actually pretty comfy. This isn't bad. This accentuates my eyes. Does it? Can we get in there? Yeah, there's a reason I've been drinking. Tiger King, if you don't know, has been taking over the airwaves. And it's only had, 7 or 8 episodes? And by the way, if you're watching, Carol Baskin, we know you did it. Literally. We know you did it. Breaking news! Carol Baskin, killer. Details at 11. We know you did it. Don't even try to hide it. So we did a poll and wanted to see what you guys were doing in quarantine. Obviously, number one, hence the mask, you're watching Tiger King. That's not distracting at all. So the other things we've been doing, we asked top 10 things you've been doing in quarantine. Number 10, doing a puzzle. That's a lot. There's a lot of people have been doing that. It's fine. Number 9, organizing. Makes sense, because there's really nothing to do. Number 8, reaching out to exes. And like ex-boyfriend or girlfriends. Really? Okay. That's number 8 on this list? Okay. Yeah, go ahead and Google that. I'm not making that up. I feel like Walter Cronkite with the paper. John Kennedy shot in Dallas. Like, sorry, I just like doing the papers. Anyway, where am I? Number 7. Number 7, playing video games. And there's an addendum, playing video games with your significant other. All right. It's a good way. Well, I think it's a good way to reconnect with anybody, unless you have kids. I know a couple of people that have kids, 1 and 2 and 3 and 5, and at this point, I think I posted it on Instagram. It's like like if you're homeschooling your kids, 8 o'clock. Hey, cats and kittens. 8:05. Good morning, mother. Like it gets really, really fast. Number 6, learning a new language. That was a popular one. Learning a new language. Number 5, glad I'm away from my family. I don't know if that's a good. If my parents are watching this, but they're probably not. My dad's watching, probably watching cars being auctioned off. So, number 4, starting a new book or opening a new book, or catching up on a new book. Number 3, learning to cook or make a new meal. That's a good one. I can't make. I burned toast. Like this is. Number 2, binge watching a show that I've already watched. Yeah. And number 1, I don't know if I can say this on the air. I'm not even. Wait, this eventually will be on the air. Yeah. If I don't say it, I don't violate an FCC rule. They're watching Apollo 13. It's docking. It's no. They're reconnecting. The way we phrase it is we're reconnecting with a mate. So I'm going to call it right now. Gem City Tonight is calling it. It's April, so that means April, May, June, July, August, September, November, December. It started in March, so I'm saying December. Gonna have a baby boom. I'm no Dr. Oz, but there's gonna be a baby boom. Just throwing that out there. All right, that's our. That is 5 minutes of awkward deck piece. I'm gonna bring John in on this. I know I'm gonna throw this over to him at some point, and you'll see the piece where we go and do a song at his house, but he agreed. We talked. We talk on the phone all the time. Oh, it's just so weird. There's just so many. This is the point in the show where I would either talk to Jackie, or I'd talk to Ricky, or I'd talk to Jonathan, or I'd talk to Greg, who's doing the sound. And I guarantee you Lowell would, at this point, be yelling at me. Hardcore. I know it. I can even hear Lowell. He's miles away from me, but I know he would yell. So, all right. So we'll be right back with sports and weather. Oh no, wait, that's a bad joke I do all the time. We'll be right back. Remember, stay inside, and we'll see you soon. Cats and kittens. I like right in my eye. How do you breathe in this thing? That's crazy.
On August 11th, my brother Max wrote these words and hanged himself. He was only 15, and he had his whole life ahead of him, but he was tormented and bullied until, hopeless and alone, he took his own life.
Though Max's pain is gone, the pain of his family will last a lifetime. Don't let this tragedy repeat itself. If you or someone you know is speaking or thinking about suicide, talk to an adult.
What wouldn't you do to stop it?
Yeah, those are like top 10 things the puzzle is what gets me. Yeah, it did. Just throwing that out there. All right, we're going to jump into my first guest. A great guy. I've known him for years. We went to college together. I mean, you'll hear all about this in the interview. So here is my buddy Dave from Touraine, Washington. Good evening, Gym City Tonight fans. We have an excellent opportunity. Yes, Dave and I are styling and profiling. We have an excellent opportunity to actually meet with one of the main sponsors that works with our show and a longtime friend, my friend Dave. If you've noticed that on the show, I wear Touraine watches. He started this, I'll let him tell the story, but we launched into this. But this, you have, for the viewers who don't know at home, Dave knows where all the bodies are buried. In fact, probably hid some of them with me. But I'm going to launch into, Dave, thank you for being with us here. This is awesome.
Oh, thank you for having me. And I promise I didn't catalog where all the bodies are buried in a P.O. box somewhere in Florida.
Buried underneath somewhere with the tiger.
You know, not in a safety deposit box, nothing like that.
For those of you who don't know at home, obviously I went to Hampton-Sydney. Dave did as well. We're both graduates of Hampton-Sydney College. Go Tigers.
Woo.
Cocktails, by the way. Dave is the reason I know I had Yingling for the first time ever.
Yeah, it's quite a good story.
I was going to let you explain how your first, obviously our viewers do this a lot, but like your first impression of me.
Oh, man.
It's you always go to your friends are like, oh.
Oh. I don't know. I wasn't prepared for this. Let me Google something real quick. No,
I would.
No, honestly, it was really fun. We moved into, actually we were next door neighbors in the dorm.
Mm-hmm.
The way that they had everything laid out, and so it was one of those things where you run across someone that is just full of unbridled energy and excitement about life.
And bourbon.
And you're just like, all right, the party's obviously going in this direction. Let's follow this, see what happens. And next thing I know, we're both older than we should be, and we're talking here.
When we post this interview, one of my favorite photos I have of Dave is him in a purple pimp hat.
Yep. And
Dave has one of me holding. I'm not exactly sure how we got the street sign, but we got it. So, I mean, you live such an interesting life, and I was so lucky to know you. And thank you for letting me borrow your Mustang. But you have jumped on this huge, like you had this amazing entrepreneurial steward, which is one of the reasons we get along. But you. To talk about the main thing is here is your watches in your company. So what prompted you to start, I mean, a watch company of all things? And the story behind it, I hope you jump into it. It's a beautiful story of why it's named that. But
well, thank you. So I've always been into watches. Starting when I was 14, I actually was cutting lawns and doing odd chores around the house and neighborhood to save up for my first watch that I saw at a Costco of all places. I wore that thing until it basically wore out. I wore it all the way through my freshman year of college, actually, and I still have it. It doesn't work, but I have it. And it's always been something of a passion of mine where I've collected watches over the years. And I started to get into, higher end Swiss models. And basically at one point I was just like, I could do this myself.
We always talked about watches. We always had an affinity for them, where they were Omegas or Tag Heuers or whatever. We always had that collection. And that's one of the things that we always ended up talking about late at night after Wild Turkey 101 and Yingling. I think I remember. I can barely remember half that.
It's kind of a blur right now, to be honest with you. But yeah.
But then you wanted to create this company. But what was really the push to start your own company?
So the push to start my own company was I've been very blessed in my career. I've done very well, but I've wanted something that I could build a legacy with for my family. Something that when I leave the office every day, I can't take that with me and pass that down to my children or to future generations of my family.
Right.
And so I wanted to start my own brand. I wanted to start my own company. the genesis for that was going through the family history of my family. They came from Italy. They came from northern Italy, and they came across the Atlantic in the 1880s to Ellis Island, and they came aboard a ship called the SS La Touraine, which was cool little historical fact, was one of the only ships to actually message the Titanic that, hey, you might want to get out of the way. There's an iceberg ahead. And it ended up
Nobody listens. Nobody listens.
Yeah, nobody listens, you know. But it ended up being one of those things where it brought my family to this new world, and I thought that this could be the company that would bring my family to the next level,
Right.
to future generations.
Well,
And
that's
married that. Thank you. I married that with, you know, the passion of being into watches and learning how to do it, and it's kind of married itself.
One of the things that I love that a lot of people don't know about the watches is the designs and the compositions. That's all you. You're a one-man show, right?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, the big issue I've run into is that we don't have a lot of watch manufacturing in America anymore. Most
Right.
of it went overseas decades ago. And so what I did was I got myself in contact with the suppliers that make the watches for a lot of the brands that a lot of people know and see in the store every day. Except now they're building stuff for me. So what I've done is I've been able to take their expertise in manufacturing to the highest manufacturing standards, because they're building it for everybody else, and apply my thought process, my designs, my specifications to these watches, and then, you know, branding as well. So it's one of those things that's very rewarding, because instead of wearing a Tag or an Omega, and I love those watches, they're absolutely beautiful, I now have my own.
Actually, for those watching, we're wearing the same watch. I just do the band because this is, like I said the other day, this is my go-to watch. But you're a one-man show. I mean, you're doing the emails, you're doing the blasts, you're doing the designs. He might have asked me what kind of band for this one, and I gave my input. So that's my only 2 cents. But that's my only 2 cents. But yeah, it's a one-man show. So what's I mean, there's so much that goes into it. I mean, what keeps you going?
What keeps me going is honestly wanting to build something better and better. And that's always been something that I've done, and no matter what my hobby has been, it's been to always build something. And so, you know, when I was growing up riding bikes, I took the bikes apart to buy better parts to build a better bike. When I had cars, and still do, but when I have cars, you know, I'd modify.
Oh, I remember you tinkering. We were out there after many a night.
Yeah, it's the same insane illness that I have mentally, where I just want to take something apart and make it better. And so from the watch angle, what drives me is each model that I come out with has to be better than the previous one, because I want to make sure that the quality continues to improve, that the features improve, that the materials improve, and then ultimately that customers like yourself and like others enjoy what they have on their wrist more than any other brand.
So speaking of the models, right now we're wearing the Compass.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's more of a chronograph, you know, business type Rolexy watch. It's dressed up and dressed down. Like I said, it's my daily watch. But you also have models for men and female. So what do you have to show us? Because we did do some of your watches on our Christmas episode.
Yeah, and that was outstanding. Your guest, the assistant professor, did a really great job of talking about him. I was really impressed. Thank you for that.
Of course.
So let's first start with the one woman's watch that I do have. And this is one that I kind of got the idea from looking at what was out there for women in that price range, and then also really what looks the best.
Mm-hmm.
And so this right here is the Silk Rose model. It's named Silk Rose because it's rose gold, so that's kind of obvious. But the silk aspect of it comes from my family history of my grandfather, who ran a silk mill in Allentown. And him and his brother and the family actually ran that silk mill for many decades, until after World War II, when they sold the mill, because it became too expensive to manufacture in this country.
Right.
But this represents that little bond of family history, as well as being rose gold.
I think it's the way you tie in the family into the story, into it's I keep saying I love it, but it's like it means so much. It isn't just to turn a profit. It isn't just to start a company. It's to share a history. So I love it. So we've got the woman's watch. I own all of them and love them. The voyage. You have the what's next?
So what's next is actually my most famous watch. This is, and I'll show it shortly, but to give you some background to this one, it was named Voyager after the voyage that a family would take to come to the New World, or a voyage that anyone sets out on in their own career or in their own personal lives to improve themselves and take them to a new place. And this is the one that once we had some product photos taken of it, it turned out really nicely. Shout out to John back in Allentown for taking these photos. But it actually caught the eye of Condé Nast, and they wanted to run these in their GQ magazine underneath the watch feature. And this is the Voyager. This is one of many. We have 3 different sizes, 3 different bands and colors, which you can see on the website. This is the one that has appeared in GQ throughout all of last fall and winter, as well as in Wired magazine. So Wired magazine ran a couple of features on this watch as well because, well, Condé Nast owns the world. So we were able to do a really nice tie-in with this watch. And because of that, we've sold this one worldwide. I've sent shipments of this watch to Nigeria. I sent it to the UK, Germany, France, Spain, Canada, and the US, and it's by far the most recognizable watch for us with that minimalist style to it.
I've worn that with jeans and a t-shirt. I've worn that with suits. I've worn it on the show. It's such a diverse watch, and it's and the thing is that what a lot of people understand when guys talk about watches, they talk about like sizes and millimeters, and is it 43 or 48 or whatever. And for a while, watches just got stupid big with all the Invictas and whatever, but this is bringing it back to a watch that is classic, it's timeless, well made. I mean, the way you made the vision happen. It's a watch that Cary Grant could wear. It's a watch that somebody today could wear. And that's what I love. That's why I support it, and that's why I wear it. And my feet are going to sleep. That's why I'm moving. So yeah, and then there's one more, right?
Oh, yeah, there is one more. It's one that we led the show off with. Yes. But to the other watches on my site, there is one model that I don't have with me right now, but it's the Legacy model.
That's the one I wear the most on the show. It's got the gray face and
yes. That one. I'll be honest with you. That was my very first watch. It was me dipping my toes into the water of like, will this work? Will this not work?
You hit a home run with it,
and it took off. Yeah, it sold dozens of people have bought them. They love them. One of the things I was trying to do is add a signature to it, so I made all of the second hands in bright red. Yeah. And it just ties back to that legacy name, meaning, what are we building here? This is the legacy of the company. This is the legacy of what's going to be on your wrist. And so that one I'm really proud of, and that one's available as well. But as I developed these models and really honed in on the minimalist style, I wanted to also take it back to something a little bit more classic too, which is the chronograph. And that's been around for decades now. It's been used in racing. It's been used in anywhere, right? You can wear it with a suit, you can wear it with jeans, you can wear it with shorts, change the band, and you change the entire look of that watch.
Tonight shirts, just find that out.
It works perfect. And the watch actually will come with not only the stainless steel band that I have, but also the NATO strap that Andrew's wearing, which ties into all the design elements of the watch itself with that red sweep hand, once again, making it easy for you to see what time is, what the seconds are. And really just trying to bring it home in terms of having that diversity and what we can offer you.
So to wrap it up, the watch, the company, everything just stemmed out of your passion. And that's what I love. And that's why, we've talked. That's why I started the show. That's why we do, why we're friends, because we're both crazy. But, but if you can leave our viewers with a final thought on why go to your site? Why buy your watches?
I think because with my watch, it's not a huge company that doesn't hear from you. I answer every email personally. When people have design ideas, I solicit them. I listen to what we can do to make the company better. I listen to what I can do to make the product better. And ultimately, what I care about the most is that you enjoy your purchase. So we offer a 24-month warranty on everything. I will cover everything on that watch. Provided you didn't drop it off the Empire State Building yourself, I will cover any issues you might have.
Well, damn it, you forgot the one thing I was going to do.
Yeah. Try not to get hit by a car wearing it. But other than that, you're covered. And
These are my friends. These are my friends.
Yeah. I haven't even had a Yingling yet.
Well, trust me, I'm having vodka. You know me. I want to thank you for being on the show. I want to thank you for everything you do. And through everything that's going out, how are you for our final thought for viewers? How you holding up? Did you make the big trek from the bathroom to the kitchen? Like, what the hell is what quarantine? Maybe quarantine.
I was about to ask you the same thing, man. It's a crazy world we live in right now, and I think it's just honestly, it's a good thing. It allows us to spend time with the people that are closest to us more than we are used to, and I think only good things can come out of that long run.
Touche. Dave, I want to thank you for being on the show. La Touraine, find him at. Tell us how to find you.
Yes, you can find me by Google searching La Touraine watches or just going la-touraine TOURAINE.com. Thank you.
Cool. Facebook, Instagram, whole 9 yards.
All of it on there. I'm on Twitter. If you want to ask business ideas, you can DM me on Twitter. Like I'm on all the platforms.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, Jim City tonight. Dave, longtime friend. Thank you for being on the show. We'll talk to you later. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me on.
Yep. I'm so glad he did that. I talk to Dave every day. I want to thank Dave. It's fantastic. We're going to have a link to the watches. I mean, it's even the one that I'm wearing. I wore a different one in the interview because I forget to film them differently. But I'm wearing a different one. They're fantastic. We'll throw a link up on our website and on the Facebook. But we'll be right back next at Cody Canada.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
You're all right.
Sorry.
It's okay, Gabe.
All right. So this next interview, which I got to do, which my manager Ricky set up. She's the producer. She does a lot. I didn't think that she could do it. She did. Like, this is one of my favorite bands. He was in Cross Canadian Ragweed. He was in Cody Canada Departed. He did a solo album. Just, it's a great guy. We're gonna have links to his music, and just check this interview out. This is one of my favorites to date. So first off, it's an honor to meet you, sir.
Thank you. Nice to meet you too, even though it is virtually.
Yeah, I mean, these other times. How have you been doing with the quarantine?
Not much we can do, you know, but we've been staying home, doing what we're supposed to do. None of us wants to catch it. And we have grandparents that live, well, our parents that live around here, and they're older. So we're just doing the best we can. And we have a school of rock, and we don't want to get anybody sick. So we're just doing what we need to. So
you're from Texas, but you're in Oklahoma now?
No, I'm back in Texas. I've been in New Braunfels, Texas for about 17 years now.
Okay. So I'm gonna fangirl hard real quick. I found you when you guys were Cross Canadian Ragweed. Fighting For was like my main song I played, and yes, I can air guitar the hell out of that. Nice. But you've done so much. You've moved, that was like 2010, 2011. You've moved into Cody Canada and The Departed. So what's moving forward for you?
Well, always searching for a song, you know. I mean, that's the main thing. Always looking for the next riff or the next line. The lines come easier than the riffs these days because I feel like I've out-riffed myself. But, I mean, I'm still writing. I don't write as much just because, for one thing, I've been dealing with the school and then watching my kids grow and trying to be there for them. And right now, we're stuck in quarantine. I thought this is a good time to write. And I can't come up with it. I had all these like really pissed off lyrics for the next record. And now I'm all like, okay, I love everybody. I'm not mad anymore. But I mean, really just the same thing, you know. For probably 4 years, I wouldn't play a lot of ragweed stuff because I still had my feelings hurt that the band split.
Right. But you and the bassist Plato, you guys went together.
Yep. And then about 4 years ago, I really started missing the old tunes and just brought everything back. Really, it's just whatever. If anybody wants to hear something and we know it, we do it.
One of the things I love is you guys do a lot of, even though, I mean, you do a lot of studio stuff, but you do a lot of acoustic, like hometown, like you did, you just did one, like you do a lot of stuff that's just acoustic in town, in bars and stuff, like kind of like bring it back to the people. Why does that matter so much to you?
Well, I mean, that's where I started. I started playing really solo by myself up in Stillwater, Oklahoma, and Ragweed wasn't together yet. And then my crowd started growing, so I got the band together, and it's just nice to get back to conversating with, like, when it's full band, I don't really talk to the crowd that much. Just kind of just jam all night.
Right.
But acoustic, you know, I feel like I can talk to people and.
Oh no! Trust me. I heard the one that was some old, and like you talk for like I love Constantly and 17, but you end up talking to the audience more than you end up playing, and you just have fun with them.
Yeah. I mean that's how I treat my acoustic shows. You know, just involve everybody and ask questions, and if I know or request sometimes, you know, and if I know it, I know it. If I don't, I move on, you know.
So you've been doing this so long. So I gotta say, you play a Paul Reed Smith, you play a VRS, and you've had the same silver guitar, electric guitar, for a long time.
Yeah, 21 years.
I know, and you can see it when you. Me being a dork, I've watched the videos, and you can see the wear. It's just like, is there a connection to? Because you played Gibson when you did. Some other things, but like the connection to the equipment and so forth is like, does that matter to you?
Yeah, it definitely matters. You know, like when we do fly gigs and we'll fly and they do backline for us, they'll give us certain amps. I have to have that guitar.
Right.
It's just being comfortable, you know. That was the first PRS I ever owned, and it played good, and I bought several trying to make it my number 2 guitar. And then I got a deal with Paul Reed, and just last year he finally gave me, it's not a replica, it's a little bit better than the silver, but it's blue, and I finally found my number 2. But I mean, I played it for so long, it's got my oil in it, and it's got dings on it, and I can control the knobs without even looking at it, and it just sounds better than anything I've ever played. But when it comes to acoustic, it's all Gibson.
So before I let you go, I want to let you know, like, you started really, really young, and like you said you went to George Strait concert at 4, guitar at 8, like you started really young. So what would you say to any of our viewers who are getting really into like music?
Well, it just really just kind of depends on how passionate you are about it. If you really, really want it. I mean, I just said last week that I never thought that I would be out of a job playing music, which a lot of people laugh at because it's a hard gig it's hard to keep gigs. But I always just had the mentality of, I'm going to play. I don't care if there's 2 people in the crowd or if there's 2,000 people in the crowd. Just be good, be honest at what you do, you know. I've always thought, honestly, I could never just make up a song about some random stuff, you know. I'd always have to write about something that happened to me or happened to somebody else. So
I mean, even
Served
I've
right.
listened to your new stuff, like Indifferent or Long Way Home, or like it just. I mean, all your music has always resonated. But I want to touch on one more thing before I let you go.
Yeah, man.
Tiger King
is not the correct representation of most Oklahoma people.
I'm still buying the shirt. It doesn't matter.
Huh? The shirt? Hang on, Shannon.
Oh no, there's a shirt.
Hang on.
Yes, this is what I'm talking about. Cody Exotic.
But look at this. Look at the eyes.
He did tiger eyes.
The eye of a tiger.
This is what I'm saying.
That's what happens when a tiger saw a man.
All right. Well, I want to do a toast. You did a thing to toast you, sir.
Shannon's gonna grab a drink. Hang on one second.
All right, I got it. We're good. I know you're a tequila guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a beer. I've had too many tequilas the last few nights.
Well, we're all quarantined. We're all drinking everything.
We're still trying. I'm still trying to be dad and everything.
Touche. Well, sir, here, cheers to you. It's a pleasure. It's an actually honor to meet you. Thank you so much. Keep doing what you're doing, and thank you so much.
You too, man. Thank you. Y'all be safe and stay in and wash your hands and let's get over this shit.
Cheers.
See you, buddy.
See ya.
Take care.
Yeah, I fangirl hard. You can probably see me stutter to the whole interview because it was pretty good. Anyway, all right, we'll be right back. Jay and I have kind of a special thing for you when we get back. We'll be right back. More Gem City tonight. All right, in times like these, we figured out we had to do something. So Jay and I decided to get together, and him being the director and so forth. And we figured we'd write some new lyrics and have a little fun. So from Jay and I and Gem City tonight and all our crew, this one's for you.
Yeah, no, I've completely lost my mind. Yeah, well, I'm just doing songs. So do you have a song you want to request? Queen? All right, we can do that. Hey, Gem City tonight. We're all in this together. Here's a little something to say that we love you and we're thinking of you. And yes, we've lost our minds.
I've stayed inside time after time. I've blown up my friends and I wasted our time. But I know excuses and none of them go. And now that I'm off without you, Lord, what would I do? We are the quarantine, my friends, and we'll stay inside though till the end. We are the quarantine, we are the quarantine. No time for closeness, 'cause we are the quarantine of the world. I've had that thrill, I've had that thrill, and my Tylenol, and it's brought me comfort and cleanliness and everything. I want to thank do. I've been stuck inside. I have nothing to do when I don't know why. Carol Baskin, what did you do? We are the quarantine friends, and we'll stay inside though till it ends. We are the quarantine. We are the quarantine. No time for closeness, 'cause we are the quarantine of the world. Stay safe, Gym City, tonight. Jay.
Be well.
Remember, you're not alone. And you never will be.
You never will be.
All right. Yes, that was from us to you. On that note, I'm gonna drink. This has been a fantastic episode. I want to thank Dave from Touraine Watches. I want to thank Cody. I want to thank Jay. I want to thank everyone who's staying inside, staying safe. Once again, thank you all of those who are making our lives possible. First responders, nurses, doctors, everybody. You guys are fantastic. Remember, Dayton, you're not alone. Never will be. We'll see you next time on Quarantine at Gem City Tonight. Have a good one.
Try to work out all these things. I don't know just what I'll write. I only hope I win this fight with me. I'm not stable, you see. Don't know which way to go. Look at me. I'm not stable, you see. Live my life running in the unknown, never certain on which way to go. I'm so tired, finished making sense of the news and your politics. Just need my family by my side. Let the others talk just how their hope has died. Stay with me, and I'll be stable, you'll see. If my